Degrees outside here in Louisiana. So we're gonna go ahead and go home and do an experiment. Let's go see how it turns out. So this is what we're doing today. For Christmas, we got a Dutch oven and we haven't gotten to play with it yet. And on chilly days like today, Parker and I typically like to have a little fire in our fireplace just to keep the living room a little bit warm, and we kind of just hang out in here together and spend the day in front of the fire watching his little shows and stuff like that. So today I decided to give it a shot. So we ran to Walmart real quick, picked up the couple things that I don't keep in my baking cabinet regularly, like pineapple and maraschino cherries, and we are going to make a pineapple upside down cake today, or at least try it. We're going to be using Kent Rollins recipe. You can look him up on YouTube. He also has a cookbook and all kinds of really cool things that we could do. So we're gonna kind of record off and on today what we're doing and see how it turns out. For me, it proved to be the hardest part was actually waiting for the coals to get to the point where we could actually cook with them. It took a lot longer, and me continuing to play with the fire probably didn't help very much. But luckily enough, I had my helper today to distract me, and it was very close to lunchtime, so we went ahead and took care of that before we continued any cooking. What is it?
Sandwich.
A what?
Bologna sandwich.
A bologna sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. We went ahead and got our ingredients all together and ready to go. It was a fairly simple, just a normal, what you would consider a dump cake. There wasn't much mixing or preparation involved in it. My helper was there right along to make sure all the ingredients were up to his par and making sure everything was just the way that it needs to be. You did a basic layer on the bottom. You mix your melted butter with some brown sugar and coat the bottom of the pan and lay out your pineapples and your maraschino cherries in a nice and neat little pattern on the bottom.
And this my finger.
No more, buddy.
I mix it.
Yeah, mix it. After the batter was finally mixed together with my helper, we went ahead and dolloped it into the Dutch oven over top of the cherries and the pineapples, and as even of a layer as we could. We did have some of the juices come up over the top, but it didn't really much matter in the end. I went ahead and nestled the Dutch oven into the fireplace the best that we could. You can see where I tilted back the grate in hopes of keeping some of the wood and some of the hotter ashes and embers off the pan. It didn't really work as well as I had intended it for, but this was the first time I've ever tried it, so lesson learned. You ready? Okay, we just took this out. It's been in the fireplace for about 30 minutes. I've come up with a couple ideas that I want to change in the fireplace for the next go round. So I've been rotating it every 5 to 6 minutes or so, just so that it doesn't get too close to the fire for too long on one side. I don't know what it's going to look like, so let's check it out. Holy cow. What? What? It's a cake! Oh, wow! Don't touch it. It'll burn your little fingers off. Wowie wow. Okay. So the gentleman said, it looks like we might maybe have a little burning on one side. So they'll take that into account for tonight's, let me see if I can turn it so you can see. That side looks okay. It looks like this side may have gotten the brown sugar a little done. Mr. Rollins says that we should go ahead and scrape around the edge and let it continue to cool for a little while, and then we'll try to flip it out and see what happens. I'm so excited! Alright, you guys, we let it rest for a little bit. Went ahead and flipped it onto a plate. I have no idea what this looks like, but it smells great. So let's see if I can flip this without burning myself, and you guys can see with me. Oh, I see a pineapple. Oh my gosh. Look, it almost all came out. It did come off the plate just a little bit, but I think that's okay. I can fix it in just a minute. Wow. Oh, can't use that one. That's okay. Well, there you have it, you guys. My first ever Dutch oven recipe at all. See, this little part fell off the plate when it flipped. But I think we can still eat it. It still looks good. Oh, I can't wait to try this. Well, there we have it. Here we have it. Our first ever recipe in the Dutch oven. Yay! We're going to go ahead and eat this. It didn't come out of the cast iron awesome. It did stick a little bit right in that area that I showed you that the brown sugar burnt a little bit. So this next time that we do it, maybe tonight for dessert, I'm going to go ahead and Crisco the side of the pan a little bit more and keep an eye on it. I also have decided to take out... I've also decided to take out the grate that was in there. My original plan was hoping that pushing that back to the back and flipping it up would help keep some of the wood off of the cast iron. But I've noticed that our pot's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. So for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and keep the living room warm, keep these coals going. And maybe tonight we'll try again.